Hey there, it's Clumpkin. Welcome to the channel where I make content to distract myself from how alone I feel. No, I'm just messing. Today's gonna be a little different because I felt like being different. I'm gonna read a chapter from my favorite and only real book I own, honestly, by John Green called The Anthropocene Reviewed. I'm just gonna start because like every chapter is its own story. It's every chapter is its own review. So we're gonna start at this one called Diet Dr Pepper because I love Diet Dr Pepper. So why not? Let's begin. Diet Dr Pepper. The story of Dr Pepper begins in 1885 in Waco, Texas, where the pharmacist named Charles Alderton combined 23 syrup flavors to create a new kind of carbonated drink. Notably, Alderton sold the recipe for Dr. Pepper after a few years because he wanted to pursue his passion, pharmaceutical chemistry. He worked at the drugstore for Eli Lilly before going back to his hometown to head up to the laboratory at the Waco Drug Company. Alderton's soda probably would have remained a Texas-only phenomenon, eventually disappearing like so many other local soda flavors. The Opera Bouquet, the Sizzle Fizz, the Almond Sponge. Had it not been for the dogged determination of Woodrow Wilson Clements, who preferred to be called Foots, a nickname he picked up in high school due to his oddly shaped toes. Foots, the youngest of 8 children, grew up in a tiny Alabama town in Windham Springs. He got a football scholarship at the University of Alabama, where he was teammates with Bear Bryant. In 1935, when Foots was a senior in college, he started working as a Dr. Pepper salesman. He retired 51 years later as the CEO of a soft drink company worth over $400 million. By 2020, the Keurig Dr. Pepper Corporation, which owns among many other brands 7-Up, RC Cola, and 4 different kinds of root beer, is valued at over $40 billion. Almost all of its products are some form of sweetened and or caffeinated water. Foots Clements succeeded because he understood precisely what made Dr. Pepper significant. He says, I've always maintained, he said, you cannot tell anyone what Dr. Pepper tastes like because it's so different. It's not an apple, it's not an orange, it's not a strawberry, it's not root beer. It's not even a cola. Cola, after all, is derived from cola nuts and vanilla. 2 real-world flavors. Sprite has that lemon-lime taste, purple soda is obscenely grape flavored, but Dr. Pepper has no natural world analog. In fact, U.S. trademark courts have tackled this issue, categorizing Dr. Pepper and its knockoffs as pepper sodas, even though they contain no pepper, and the pepper in Dr. Pepper refers not to the spice, but either someone's actual name or else to pep. The feeling that pepper to the power of 10 pepper supposedly fills you with it's the only category of soda not named for what it tastes like, which to my mind is precisely why Dr. Pepper marks such an interesting and important moment in the human history. It was an artificial drink that didn't taste like anything. It wasn't like an orange, but better, or like a lime, but sweet. In an interview, Charles Alderton once said that he wanted to create a soda that tasted like the soda fountain in Waco smelled. All of those artificial flavors swirling together in the air. Dr. Pepper, in its very conception, unnatural, in the creation of a chemist. The first 0-calorie version of Dr. Pepper was released in 1962. This initial diuretic Dr. Pepper was a failure, but Diet Dr. Pepper became a huge success when it was reformulated in 1991 with a new artificial sweetener, a Partme, I guess. It also relaunched with a new advertising slogan, Diet Dr. Pepper. It tastes more like regular Dr. Pepper, which it really does. Coke and Diet Coke are barely recognizable relatives. If Coke is the golden eagle, then Diet Coke is a hummingbird. but Dr. Pepper and Diet Dr. Pepper taste like each other, which is especially interesting to me, as Foots Clements pointed out, neither of them taste like anything else. Now, many people find that that artificality, of Diet Dr. Pepper revolting. You often hear people say, there's so many chemicals in it. Of course. There's also lots of chemicals in wine, or coffee, or air. The underlying concern, though, is that it is a sensible one. Diet Dr. Pepper is just so profoundly artificial, but that's why I love it. Diet Dr. Pepper allows me to enjoy a relatively safe taste that was engineered for me. When I drink it, I think of the kids at the soda fountain in Waco, Texas, most of whom rarely knew the pleasures of an ice cold drink of any kind, and how totally enjoyable those first Dr. Peppers must have been. Each time I drink Diet Dr. Pepper, I am newly astonished. Look at what humans can do. They can make an ice cold, sugary sweet, 0-calorie soda that tastes like everything and also like nothing. I don't labor under the delusion that Diet Dr. Pepper is good for me, but in moderation, it also probably isn't bad for me. Drinking too much Diet Dr. Pepper can be bad for your teeth and it may increase other health risks. But as Dr. Aaron Carroll puts it in his book, The Bad Food Bible, there's a potential and a likely, very real harm for consuming added sugar. There is likely none from artificial sweeteners. So, Diet Dr. Pepper probably isn't a health risk for me, and yet I feel as if I'm committing a sin whenever I drink Diet Dr. Pepper. Nothing that sweet can truly be vitreous, but it's an exceptionally minor vice, and for whatever reason, I've always felt like I need a vice. I don't know whether this feeling is universal, but I have some way down vibrating part of my subconscious that needs to self-destruct at least a little bit. In my teens and early 20s, I smoked cigarettes compulsively, 30 or 40 a day. The pleasure of smoking for me wasn't about a buzz. The pleasure came from the jolt of giving in to an unhealthy physical craving, which over time increased my physical craving, which in turn increased the pleasure of giving in to them. I haven't smoked in more than 15 years, but I don't think I ever quite escaped that cycle. There remains a yearning within my subconscious that cries out for a sacrifice, and so I offer up a faint shadow of a proper vice and drink Diet Dr. Pepper, the soda that tastes more like the Anthropomorphine than any other. After going back through dozens of slogans through the decades, Dr. Pepper billed itself as tasting like liquid sunshine, and as the pepper picker-upper, and as the most original soft drink ever. These days, the company's slogan is more to the point. They call it the one you crave. I give Dr. Pepper 4 stars. Sorry. Yeah. Dude, Dr. Pepper, I love it. I love Dr. Pepper so much. I love this book too. I bought this book back in 2021 during my freshman year, and before we started PE class, when we would like sit in the gym just kind of every day, I'd read this book, and it was cool. I enjoyed it. I've read every chapter. I've read it twice. Mainly, not only because I enjoy it. It's just like the only book I own really. I haven't really tried to find any more books like this, but I love. One of my favorite things is seeing different perspectives, and that's kind of why I like this book, because I get to see this guy, specifically John Green's perspective on different things, and he rates them and he talks about them, and it's super cool. And John Green has had a pretty sizable part of my life. Not in any way like super significant. He's just like in every single one of my history classes because of his little history videos. but he's also now in my personal life with this book, and it's cool, and I love reading his perspective on this. And yeah, I give the Anthropomorphine reviewed book 5 out of 5 stars because I just love it. It's super cool. The design inside the book is really cool. It comes with a signature in it. It's like printed in every book. It's awesome. And then I'm gonna try and find this quote. So the reason I even know about this book, because I'm not a big book reader. So the reason I even know about this is because one of my favorite YouTubers, who has since stopped making videos, may his channel rest in peace. It's not down, so you could still watch the videos. Anthpo. He made a video on his birthday. He was just talking, and he was talking about how he sent emails out to a bunch of different companies saying it's his birthday. So he got like a bunch of birthday presents. Sorry. It's late for me right now. And then he started talking about this book. And there was some sort of quote in this book, and I don't remember where it is. And I probably should have looked for it beforehand. But yeah, if you want to hear the quote, I'd go check out Anthpo's birthday video, because that's when he talks about it. It's a pretty good one. I remember the quote was good. I just don't remember what the quote is. But yeah. This is a little shorter than I thought it would be. I mean, 12 minutes. We're almost there. Yeah, man. This is a little boring, so I'm sorry for that. But I hope you enjoyed me reading the book. I think this is like the second time on the channel I've been reading stuff. I kind of enjoy reading it. I'm just sometimes I fumble up on my words. So yeah. I hope you all have a great rest of your week or weekend or whenever you're watching this. I just hope you have a great day. You're awesome. And yeah, I just thank you for sitting through the video if you got here. It's really cool of you. And don't forget to tell somebody you love them. And I'll catch you guys next week or earlier if I feel like making another video, but probably not. So next week. See ya.